Welcome back to PCOS Unfiltered, Nourish, Heal, Thrive, the show where we cut through the noise, ditch the shame, and talk about what it really takes to heal from the inside out. I'm your host, Lindsie, nurse, health coach, and a fierce believer that your diagnosis is just one chapter, not the whole story. Today's guest is Nicholas Arcata, a personal trainer who's passionate about helping people build strength, stay consistent, and create sustainable results. We're going to dive into the role of exercise on any health journey, why mindset and accountability matter just as much as the workouts themselves, and how to build a plan you can actually stick with. If you've ever felt like the gym is overwhelming or you're not sure where to start, this episode is going to give you both the encouragement and the practical tools to move forward with confidence. As a reminder, the content shared on PCOS Unfiltered is for informational and educational purposes only. The views and opinions expressed by the host and guests are not intended to serve as medical advice. Always consult with a qualified healthcare professional before making any changes to your diet, exercise, or treatment plan. The information shared is based on personal experience and expert interviews and is not a substitute for professional medical guidance. Now let's dive in. Do you have a story from your experience where accountability made a big difference in someone's progress?
Yeah. So, pretty commonly, I think that's the biggest thing with what I do is really the accountability portion of it. Um, Especially in this day and age, this era, you can kind of search any type of workout program. And again, that's part of what I ask people is why haven't you gotten the goal why haven't you achieved this goal yet? Like what stopped you? Maybe you have a plan already, maybe you have these things. And a lot of the time it is that accountability, right? Because
Yeah.
internally you may be motivated today, but tomorrow can you still hold yourself to that same standard? And I know when I am in a setting with friends who are like-minded and who you surround yourself with, and that can be a coach, that can be friends, that can be family, really. um, Once you're doing it outside of yourself, I think you're going to stick to it and be more committed. So that accountability portion coming into play with right now, right? If I have a scheduled call with you once a week and I'm going to ask you, how are you eating? How is your training? How are you feeling, right? Like most importantly, how's
Mhm.
everything going? That accountability comes into play because my clients have said to me, like, I don't want to let you down. Like we're putting energy and effort into something. And at the end of the day, it's your goal,
Okay.
but it's setting that standard and helping you get there too. So
Yeah.
accountability for sure. I had one client, um, female, came in, sit down, kind of going over her goals, more aesthetically based stuff, wanted to lose fat, be toned, grow the glutes, all this stuff. And was showing me some pictures of like what she wanted to look like comparing to other girls. And I just always am like, I don't love that. But like compare yourself to who you were yesterday and try to achieve the next things is how I approach it.
Yeah.
But long story short, even to go back into the same stuff, she continuously showed up. I was giving her advice, telling her, this is what your goals are. So your nutrition needs to be in line with this, right? Because if we're breaking down all the muscle, but you're not getting the proper nutrients, you're doing yourself more harm, right? And you're almost under eating. So your body's more stressed, probably storing more
Mhm.
fat and just all negative things. So accountability in that regard, where continuously I'm giving the information, I'm relaying it. Eventually she's applying it and then the results start to be seen, right? And it's always funny when you start to see a little bit of results because clients are like, wait, this actually works. I'm like, listen, I can give you the information, but it's on you to make the decision to use it, right? I'm not,
Yeah.
so but she ended up starting to see results. And it's funny because like all of a sudden it's like, yeah, did you know that if like you eat more protein, like I can still build muscle and lose? I'm like, I've been saying this. So
Yeah, it's
yeah,
true.
but
Yeah, I mean, I feel like especially because, I've heard people going on like Chat GPT and they're like, build me
yeah.
a workout program or whatever. Like that's great. And there's gyms on every corner now.
Mm,
But I do think people are missing the human connection.
Mm,
Um, I think COVID probably even really like woke some of us up to that, to realizing that. But that's,
yeah.
yeah, definitely where the accountability piece comes in. Cause yeah, you can find workouts all over the place. You can go on YouTube and do a workout of any kind, really. But who's actually helping you get there, to do it? That's super
No, I
important.
totally agree. Yeah.
Are there any mindset shifts that you see that people often need when they begin training, especially if they've been feeling just, stuck, like they've tried everything, maybe?
Yeah. I think again that kind of rolls into all the same stuff where mm, I guess I would say nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So you've been doing the same things and you're not accomplishing the goals. So what do we need to shift and change, right? And that could be as simple as you're doing things wrong to you've been doing things right for so long, but your body's just plateaued, right? And
Mhm.
you're used to your caloric intake and your body's now utilizing whatever you're taking in and whatever you're putting out. So let's shift something in regards to, maybe we do increase the cardio and maybe we increase your caloric intake and let your body readjust to that. And then if we cut back on calories again, are you burning a little faster so that now some weight gets shed off, whatever it is, right? And again, it's like the problem solving. I think the mindset shift for a lot of people is knowing that you can do it, right? So it's achievable, it's sustainable. How do we get there? And I think that's
Yeah.
again an approach that just pushing yourself physically and being in that type of environment just comes along with all the positives there because what once seemed impossible, maybe you get this goal of trying to lift a certain amount of weight or aesthetically, or now the scale is where I wanted it to be. And I like it was always impossible for me. But there's so many other things that are coming into play to accomplish that. So I think the mindset shift just happens naturally because once you start to see progress, once you finally accomplish that goal, I can do hard things. I can achieve things I set my mind right.
Right.
And then again, it all flows into same things, work, relationships, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's huge for sure. So when someone falls off their plan, how do you
mm,
help them? How do you help
mm,
them get back in?
yeah, I think that one's pretty valid too, right? Especially like life happens and
Yeah. Yeah.
all the same things. What are your priorities at the time, right? And I think in terms of health and well-being, that should always be a necessity. And that can mean different things, right? If you're not feeling great is one thing, so continuing fueling the right ways and training the right ways so that you can function compared to if you're trying to perform for some type of competition, right?
Mhm.
Probably a little bit different. If you fall off, I think what comes into play a lot of times there is ego, right? And maybe more so on the male side, but I know I'm guilty of this. I know I've had clients who are guilty of this, but a classical will be like, oh, I used to bench press however much, right? But then you've taken months off and you're getting back to the gym, and now you got to put your ego to the side and say, all right, it's been a little while. Let me get back into a routine. Don't overdo it because anything could happen in regards to
Yeah.
injury. But how do you get back into a routine while not setting the bar of like I used to be able to, but now like I'm going to set the goal to get back to that or whatever it may be. So again, it's all mental to me. And
Yeah.
being able to not be great at something immediately, right? Especially if you're new to it. If this is your first time doing something and you're great at it, good for you. But a lot of the times we're not going to
We're
be.
not.
So again, yeah, put your
Yeah.
ego to the side and accept that, and get great. Like I had one of my female clients was a little overweight, um, pretty uncoordinated and didn't really fear all the stuff right when you're first starting out in the gym. And we ended up working together for over a year. Just, I mean, she crushed it. Like weight loss, coordination. It was just so funny because even as we were ending and I was leaving, I'm like, you're literally an athlete now. Like we would do lifts and I'm like, you're athletic compared to
Yeah.
kind of that clumsy girl that came in. So, I
Yeah.
think consistency, again, it's really a lot of the same
It
stuff.
comes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even if it's just the smallest thing, like you said. Um, what are three small changes that you think any woman could make right now to begin an exercise routine?
Three small changes, especially starting off, I would say almost that less can be more, right? So again, kind of similar to what we were saying.
Hmm.
I mean, really, I think just start is probably one. And that's what a lot of runners say is like, how do I get good at running? Just start. And
Start
you'll,
running.
yeah, we're pretty interesting creatures. Like we'll figure something out. That feels not great. That feels good. Let me lean toward that. I would say just start in regards to one, just start. Two, less can be more. Um, do what you can. Don't overdo it. Find consistency. And again, if you're fiending for that extra day of working out, that's a good thing. But if you go out and walk a mile compared to if you've been very stagnant and you never get off the couch, that's progress, and that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Um, and then, yeah, do what you can consistently. Is probably say those three.
Okay. I'm gonna add one in there.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna say just like because I feel like some people, some women just like they're like, should I lift weights? Should I, but they
Mm,
should I do yoga? Should I focus on cardio? And so I usually tell people, I'm like, do what feels good for you. Yeah, there's a lot of benefits to weight. There's also a lot of benefits to cardio, and you can mix those up too. But some people feel like they have to focus on one type of workout and
mm,
they don't enjoy it. And so then that could be part of why they don't stick with it. So just find what you enjoy when you move your body and then just keep doing that.
totally agree. Right. And if you enjoy it, you're probably going to keep doing that. So that's a great
Exactly.
one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I totally agree.
Yeah. Can you walk us through what maybe a sample week of training might look like? Training and
For
rest, I should say, for
Yeah,
anything, for weight loss, yeah, for health.
yeah. I mean, I would say if a female client was looking to lose weight, a sample training week could be something along the lines of, depending on their level, strength training for sure during the week. Now, again, there's a lot of variables that come into play. If you have specific goals, if you want growth somewhere specific, just for simplicity, let's say three full body strength training days a week,
Mhm.
targeting some larger muscle groups in regards to building some muscle and um, engaging in fat loss with that muscle growth, right? So, three full body strength days a week. I would incorporate cardio more so for building endurance, which is going to come along with health and well-being, not specifically the fat loss, because I think that's a whole another approach in itself. But
Yeah.
again, finding a good relationship there and then being consistent with all that, the the fat loss and like the goals are going to come.
Mm.
Personally, for me, I do like having clients. I won't say specifically track their macros because it really depends. Again, right? If I ask you on a scale of 1 to 10, how important are your goals? And you say 10, I'll do like whatever to get to this point by this time. I think tracking can be very beneficial, especially for people who have never done it, because you may not have an understanding of how many calories you're eating a day. Right. So it
Yeah.
almost becomes a necessity. Um, so, like at this point, what I sell on that regard is let's track for a couple of weeks. Let's adjust what we're eating to more whole foods, depending on your weight, your goal weight, how many grams of protein you're going to be eating, carbs and fats, and then your total calories, how many calories do we burn, all that stuff. So I'm looking at all that when I'm working with people coaching wise. But I would have them track for a couple of weeks, for both benefit, right? Oh, I didn't realize I was eating this much, or I didn't realize there was that many
Exactly.
calories in that, right? And so many people
Yeah.
don't know that.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, that same girl I was talking about earlier in one of the stories, she was a drinker, right? And she would have, she was telling me she would drink like a bottle of wine a night. And
Oh my gosh.
I was like, you're eating, and she was like, I'm not really eating, like I'm in a deficit, I know that. And then she was like, I was like, are you drinking? She was like, yeah, I drink. I probably have like a bottle of wine. I'm like, all right, that's like there
That's,
it is. So let's,
yeah.
cut back. And then when she cut out some alcohol, she actually saw major results. But
Yeah.
again, playing that game of how do I engage in, having some drinks on the weekend, still having a social life, and and finding that consistency again. So,
Yeah. That
but that would
balance.
probably be like a week is strength training, um, cardio, and again, depending on their skill level, maybe it's a walk, maybe it's a jog, maybe it's a stationary bike,
Mhm.
and preference, right? Whatever people like, it's great. Let's do what you like, do exercise you like, and tracking nutrition just for a little bit.
Yeah. Do you give them anything to do, like some active recovery on their rest days?
I will. Um,
Or does that kind of
it,
depend on goals or?
it depends on goals because, again, I think it comes into play with, for example, if a client was training for a race and you're training really hard on the days you are, then I would almost want you to do nothing. But like sometimes the best thing we can do is nothing. Let your body
Mhm.
just recover, recoup, get good sleep, eat,
Yeah.
you know? Um, so that's dependent for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. I want to get your opinion on this because I have my own kind of theory. So
Oh,
do
I'm
you
excited.
do the scale? How often do you have your clients like either like weigh themselves, get progress pictures, do measurements, any of that stuff? How do you incorporate that in there?
Again, uh, it's dependent. So if we have a specific goal where it is like one of my clients now, male, he wants to get down to a certain body weight, right? Which is always another interesting topic because in regards to what we're going to be doing with strength training and building muscle while losing fat and its body recomposition, right? So if we're recomping, the scale isn't going to be your best friend because if you put on 3 pounds of muscle in a couple months and you lose fat, you're visually going to look different, but the scale hasn't moved. And that's a common one, again, with that same girl I was talking about earlier, early on, right? She's stepping on the scale every day. And we have an in-body machine. So that was something that was nice about being in the actual gym environment is we're going to get the measurements of your body fat, your skeletal muscle mass, and we're going to break down the weight the scale gives you.
Mhm.
I think using it as a tool is a good way to look at it, right? Where are we? Where do we want to be? I think every day can be that same thing, right? If you're looking at your watch every day and it's giving you is it stressing you out? Like have a good relationship with it.
Yeah.
Don't beat yourself up if it's a Monday morning and it was a friend's birthday on Friday and you went out, had some drinks, ate like crap. Just get back to your routine, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not a good one is I don't think that your fitness journey is going to be linear, right? There's going to
Oh,
be
for
times when
sure.
you're right. And like there's times when I'm locked in and I'm feeling great and clients are the same way and life is going well, but that's life. Like life's not linear. Like there's times you're going to get kicked in the face and there's times where you're killing it and what can you do to get back on track?
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have them
So,
do pictures or measurements or anything too?
yeah, now with the online stuff, I recommend the smart scales.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
I like them having the watches and they'll do progress photos, right? So
Mhm.
again, I think that can all go into the accountability side of things, but also if you have a laid out plan to get from A to B and all you have to do is follow these steps and you'll get there. I think it's more challenging to not see progress than it is in regards to I'm trying to get to your house. I could just get in the car and start driving, and maybe eventually I'll get there. But if I have a map that's going to say take a left here, go right, I'm going to get there a lot faster.
Yeah.
I'm probably, hopefully, definitely going to get there. So yeah, I do the progress photos, and really for the accountability side of it is the scales are what they are in regards to I get asked, oh, how accurate is this? The accuracy is one thing, but we're using it as a tool because if we, like what you said earlier, we're getting all these numbers, and then if there's an
Mhm.
outlier, it's like, all right, well, what did we do different this month that caused
Yeah.
weight gain or
Yeah.
whatever it was, you know?
Yeah. 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 And understandably, my clients are probably a little, different mindset than yours. And so I actually
Yeah,
like I tell them to put the freaking scale away
yeah,
because it goes into that like all or nothing mentality too, because they
yeah,
think I'm doing all of these things. Why is the scale not moving? But they're not realizing that they have more energy and their clothes are fitting better and they just, they're sleeping better. They feel overall better, but they're focused on that freaking number on the scale. And then, as I tell them too, that can actually stress you out, raise your cortisol levels, and then prevent you from losing more weight. So, yeah.
yeah,
And then they kind of go into that, well, if it's not working, I'm just going to give up and not do anything at all. So,
yeah. No,
yeah. Mm.
I totally agree, and it's like prioritizing what matters, right? So I feel great. My energy's up. My mindset's better, but the scale hasn't moved. It's like, so
Hmm.
what does the scale matter when all these things are going right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
I used to see that so much in the gym because I would have women that couldn't do like a burpee, for example. I mean, that's a pretty complex movement,
yeah,
especially if they're older, overweight, and they'd be so excited when they could like finally do whatever it was, a burpee, for example. I remember one woman and she was so happy about it, but literally her next comment to me was, "But the scale isn't moving." And I was like, throw the scale away.
yeah, yeah. Especially, and I think that is another commonality with, I mean, everything we've talked about, but when you're stepping on the scale and your goal is weight loss, well, weight loss, but like body recomposition is really what we're talking about here, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So, and I would say probably more so on the female side where, oh, the scale's going up, right? I actually gained a pound. And that's always a fun one right there because, well, what are we doing differently? I think it all comes back to how do you feel? How do you think you look?
Yeah.
And um, I don't remember the third thing I was going to say, but but that scale's going up. Maybe it goes up a pound, but your body fat has gone down. So
Exactly.
you look better, you feel better, all the thing, and it's
Yeah.
a funky game. I think that's the psychology and all of
Yeah.
those things that go into it.
Yeah. Kind of like what we're kind of subconsciously trained to focus on, for years. Because that was
Yeah,
kind of, all it was like focusing on a scale. But now because of, really the epidemic that we have,
yeah.
um, there's so much more. We have to realize there's so much more to it than that number. Yeah.
No, I totally agree. Yeah.
Um, how do you help clients kind of reframe setbacks, like plateaus, weight gain if they feel like they're not losing weight fast enough? How do you kind of reframe that so that they know it's part of the process and not a failure in that moment?
Again, I think the delayed gratification portion comes in. Trusting that what you're doing is going to come with the results you're looking for is another one there. And reframing their outlook, right? What's our goal? How do we get there? Can we trust the process? What are you struggling with? How can I help you? There's so many different things that come into play here, but staying consistent, right? Adjusting where if you've plateaued, again, it's kind of those same things where if you feel you've plateaued, what can we do differently to maybe get back on track? Like, can we up the intensity? Can we change what we're consuming? There's a
Mhm.
lot of variables that go into play specifically. And almost always, I think I've had clients get to that point, especially because when you first start out, it's easy to see those results, right? Such a shift, especially if you come from not really exercising to now it's incorporated in your lifestyle. Those initial shifts are pretty big, which is
Yeah.
great, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's a positive to get people to stay consistent because oh, it works. Like I've seen these results now. If I keep doing this, then I'm gonna get to that goal, right? But that's not how it works a lot of the time is your body adjusts, right? Our
Mhm.
bodies are incredible machines. And now my body, instead of spending time on the couch right after work, now my body's used to me going and burning 400 calories and breaking down muscles. So I've readjusted. Now, how do we shock the system again to get out of that plateau?
Yeah.
And it can be a number of things, right? Increasing cardio, changing the diet again, um, a number of
Yeah.
things specifically. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, like, because I mean, I've worked with clients like through the holidays. And so
Yeah.
sometimes the plateau is a win when you're getting into the holidays. If you're being tempted with all
100%.
kinds of stuff and your schedule's crazy because you got all these other things to do and there's parties and there's, whatever it is, like sometimes the plateau is fine.
Mhm.
Like that's something to still maybe celebrate that you're not gaining it back or you're still at least staying consistent, with your program. Yeah, I think that could play a role, those
That
times of
was,
life too.
yeah, that was very well said. I totally agree with you. And
Yeah.
even on that note, it actually made me think I had a client who was gone for a week on vacation and came back. We did a body scan and exactly what you said, maybe like a 0.1% of muscle drop, body fat percentage was damn near the same. And
Yeah.
again, shifting your perspective to be, wow, I just took a week off from exercise completely, drank and ate like shit, and I stayed the same, right? So I think
Yeah.
that's all the same stuff of why are you doing it in the first place, right? It's like,
Mhm.
so if you find that consistency and then you go and have a week off of vacation, family time, whatever it is, you can do those things and then get back to your routine and know, all right, I put so much energy and effort in that it's not going to break me just because I took,
Yeah.
you know, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah. Yeah. I hope you loved today's conversation with Nicholas as much as I did. Remember, exercise isn't about punishing your body, it's about supporting it, honoring it, and building resilience from the inside out. Whether you're managing PCOS, looking for more energy, or simply wanting to feel stronger, the right plan, combined with the right mindset and accountability, can truly change everything. If you want to connect with Nicholas and learn more about his training, I'll drop all the ways to connect with him in the show notes. And if you're ready to take the next step in your own healing journey, be sure to check out my other resources linked there as well. As always, thank you for being here with me on PCOS Unfiltered. Until next time, nourish, heal, and thrive.